Chapter 2, Mapping Your Sky. Mapping where you are on Earth, and mapping what you see on a big globe as if looking through it, although people thought stars might have been on a big globe going around Earth. Let's finish this off. So a specific direction in your sky, if you want a specific direction, of course you look around, azimuth. And you look up from your eye level, horizon, out. So that tells me a specific direction to look. Now things might change, but I look in that one direction. Location on our Earth, you know this. Right? Latitude, how far north or south of the equator. Longitude, how far east or west of the prime meridian. North Pole through London through South Pole or Greenwich. And we know that. And we also know that we cut up this celestial sphere in a very similar way to the way that we did Earth, and that is, but then it starts getting a little hard to visualize. That's okay, as long as you don't fall down. But latitude is like declination, kind of, at least on our map, right? And then right ascension. We might be able to use that map, but then it's like, well, what am I going? Where do I see it? When do I see it? Well, depends on where you are, and then your sky, and then you'll see the seasons. It's complicated, and that's why our ancestors needed to read chapter 3 and 4. We're going to just mention a few things that you see, but again, let it go, let it go. How many terms? Oh yeah, there's like 11 terms, right? So what do we have? So let me go down here. And celestial sphere, no celestial pole, south celestial pole, celestial equator, declination, right ascension. There's our little celestial equator, sphere. Remember that the fixed stars, we're going to talk about the fixed stars, and now we're going to talk about the wanderers too. We talk about mapping things out in regions. How many regions total? How many keys on a piano? 88 by choice. You don't discover the regions, you just decide on where to draw them. How many patterns? Well, one in every. What are these? Easy to find patterns. How many are there? As many as you want, so lots. Some of these are constellation patterns, but some of them are not. Okay, that was what we did. We've only got 2 more ideas. I think this will be fairly short. You probably know before me. I'm going to come back to that celestial sphere, and I'm going to go back here to what we see in our sky, our good old ancient shepherd sky. Weren't those the days just sit around the campfire and make up stories? I mean, that was kind of nice, actually. Right, so let me take a look at this. Eat sandwich. All right, sounds good. Could have made those dots a little darker, couldn't I? And what do we do when we watch the sky? Well, there's like I said, the so-called fixed stars, where they stay, so you keep a pattern. Over thousands of years, you'll see some changes, because they actually are moving. They're just very far away. But you don't see individual stars moving, we said in chapter 1, but we see them move and rise, of course, in the east, and arc over. We face south. If we want to watch sun, moon, and planets, because we're in the northern hemisphere, we look south. That may not be clear. You can work on that, but is the case. And so this everything, moon, everything's going to rise over here. Where's sun in this picture? Well, let's see. Sun would be, it couldn't be over here because that would light up that side. Remember, sun is how many times farther away than moon? And how many times bigger? How many times wider? So the sunlight's coming from over here somewhere. So I'm going to just go sun setting here. If it sets around there, then I know it's going to be close to one of the equinoxes. I don't know which one. Okay, so there's sun. And so I watch these things. The patterns stay together, but what stars, sun, and moon are in front of change. And what stars, planets are in front of changes. Now, sun is predictable. You can tie that to the seasons, you can tie that to a calendar and make it. Moon isn't as closely tied, but basically a month. And stars are not. Excuse me. Planets are not. Planets are not. The zodiac is a strip of stars. How many? Well, so whatever your, zodiac is the Greek term, the circle of animals, zo, right? Or like zoo or zoology. Diac, like diameter, circle, the strip. So when you watch, you could make up whatever, you can connect these dots and make up your own patterns, as I've said a million times. But what you find is that sun, moon, and stars never go into Orion. If they do, they got a problem, they're in trouble. We're in trouble. Big Dog, Canis Major, Sirius, all that stuff. But they're always there. And so we would all agree, even though our stories are different, what we imagine. And each night, these things would change. And a planet, for example, would be seen. Now, this is a pretty bright reddish orangish Betelgeuse, Aldebaran, but you might see another bright one. It might be quite a bit brighter, depending on which one it is. And then it would all rise and set and stay there, as we said, and then it would move eastward in direct motion, eastward, and then go back in retrograde. And we're talking months, right? Not in one night, but month to month. And it goes through. And so everybody knew that strip. What stories you want to make up and how you want to divide it is up to you. Dividing it into 12 kind of makes sense, right? Because there's about 12 moon cycles in a sun cycle. But it's not exact, so you got to do some shifts. And then the planets are a little wacky, so they were trying to figure this out. And we have some clues, we have some puzzles, and that's what we're going to start with in chapter 3. But let's finish this off. So what we find is that it's a strip of how many regions? Well, again, you could say 12 because of moon phases. But it does go through in the first couple of weeks of December. Ophiuchus. There's 13 regions that the zodiac strip includes. Now, Ophiuchus is over there, but it dips down some. It's a big region, but part of it goes through that strip. How many total regions are there? We just said 88. So it's only some. So sun, moon, planets are never in the other regions. They're only in these, and you wonder why. You don't know. What's up with that? What's up? It's a strip of stars sky that sun would wander through. So these were considered planets, and these were 5 naked eyes. So this was the 7 planets back in the day that you will sometimes read people saying 7 planets. It's also true that Uranus and Neptune will be found here. And so it's not that uncommon for planets to line up. It's pretty cool, it's beautiful. Remember, they're AUs away and stars are light years. You're sick of me saying that now. This is super close. And moon moves, you'll see if you draw the stars where moon is and then the next night go out, you'll see that it has moved a fist and about half a thumb from where it was the previous night. Because it's close to us, so we really see its motion as it goes around us quite a bit each night. Sun creeps daily, but monthly it changes quite a bit. So that's what that's all the zodiac strip is, and the Chinese astronomers broke it up a different way, and you can study a lot of people, but they all saw this. They don't know what's going on. They haven't read chapter 3. The ecliptic, the last word, is the circle or line through the zodiac. It's through the zodiac that sun travels along or is seen in front of us and repeats yearly. Can you see that? You may not be able to see that. My bad. Oh, there we go. And so, got that? And pause it. Any more time? That's a beauty here. So, what we'll find is not the next night, because you're not going to see a whole lot of difference, but sun is going to be in front of different stars. And a planet might be up here too, or down here, but somewhere in this band. But sun, month after month, is going to go around here, right? Here. Sun is in front of Gemini in July, not June. Not June. Why? Because Earth wobbles about 2,000 years ago. It was in front of Gemini then. Okay. And then you've got Cancer, and then you've got Leo. So if you think you're a Cancer, think sun was in front of Cancer when you were born, it was really in front of Gemini. So you should say, I feel more like a Gemini. If you think you're a Leo, it was really in front of Cancer, which is very different, right? One Leo's kind of bold, and Cancer's like, soft. And so, we know genetics and stuff, cognitive science. Anyway, that is what the ecliptic is. There is another term for the ecliptic, another definition for the ecliptic. So it's twofold. One is seen from Earth. This is what we see, not in one night. In one night it all goes together, right? That's all there's to it. And you're wondering. The other is seen from space. Or not even seen from space. Kind of, in this case, there's no celestial sphere to see. But it's related to seen from space. Kind of what you find on a celestial sphere is that there is this line which you're not going to be able to see. I can barely see it. I don't know why. Could you please make it a little darker? I can barely see this line. And it's above the celestial equator, and then it dips down. And it crosses here on March 20th or 21st. And it comes back up and crosses here in September 20th or 21st. The equinoxes. Solstice, equinox, solstice, equinox. Why? We haven't answered it. Give it a rest. But it's going to be, sometimes you'll see this and it's really not clear. So I just want to make a point. Like, you don't have to worry about it. That's not going to be clear why that is the angle that it is and so on. So we've got to figure out this puzzle, and that's what chapter 3 and 4 are dedicated to. Then we change gears and start talking about the structure of worlds and where they might support life and all of those different factors for a planet. That's it. I hope that's clear. You got the rest of the book. You can look through that, and I'm going to call that a wrap on chapter 2. We're ready to solve these puzzles.